Imagine a world where there exists a man whose legs bear an extraordinary power, the inability to stop running, his muscles in a constant state of overexertion, his mind constantly interpreting a state of speed unknown by most humans.
I love me some 3D Battles of WorldRunner. I remember plugging away at this game for over 5 hours just to see the mighty ending when I was younger, which was any time prior to now, technically. And did you know there's a Japan exclusive sequel that's even more
hardcore?
I'm excited to talk about these unique games, so you know what, let's just get right into it. Solar System number 517 is being terrorized by a gang of alien serpent beasts. None of the 8 worlds are safe, and no one seems to be able to stop this massive invasion. In short, number 517 is in deep trouble. They need someone who can run fast, someone who can jump from world to world, and someone who's more than handy with a laser missile. They need you! Grax is invading your solar system, and he's bringing all of his friends and uncles with him. We need a WorldRunner! The 3D Battles of WorldRunner was first released on the Famicom disk system on March 12, 1987, followed by a North American release in September. It was developed by Square. Yes, that Square, long before they were rendering chest hairs on Final Fantasy protagonists. It was designed by Hironobu Sakaguchi, who would later go on to design, Final Fantasy! The music was composed by Nobuo Uematsu, who would later go on to score, Final Fantasy! Whoa, like a dream team! Actually, this was released 9 months before Final Fantasy in Japan, so it got the head start. And as the title suggests, this game features 3D graphics, which is true to a degree. The founder of Square wanted to showcase the majestic programming abilities of its recent hire, Nasir Jabeli, who would later program such greats as Final Fantasy, and Secret of Mana. Okay, Secret of Mana isn't really that great. Our hero does indeed run on a synthesized 3-dimensional plane forward, and the effect is, effective. The overall visual experience was wondrous enough, but the folks at Old School Square weren't satisfied enough. It needed stereoscopic 3D! And that's exactly what they implemented, something rare for an NES game. So, get your 3D glasses ready because we are about to witness a revolution in video game history. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1... Okay, it kind of sucks now compared to modern VR, but it was novel back in 1987. As the title suggests, you run. You are constantly running forward to success! Or not. You can push up on the D-pad to accelerate further, or down to slow down a bit. He can also run left or right as the world tends to wrap around infinitely. Of course, his path isn't without its share of obstacles. Be prepared to tackle, white willies, handmen, Venus dye traps, dog faces, and more. You'll have to dash, dodge, and leap like a madman to avoid those. It's a one-hit kill type of game, however, so you'll be sent back to the last checkpoint if you're injured, or to the beginning of the game if you get a game over. But wait a second, if you hold the A button when continuing your game, you restart at the most recent world. Cha-ching! And check out these cool worlds. Broccoli World, Saturn World, Wilted Uranium World, Bubbly Grape Jelly World, Dark Pancake World, Damned If I Know World, Star and Clam World, and finally you reach Neo New Jersey World. Once you make it to the last quadrant of each world, you'll switch to flying mode somehow as you battle one of the serpent beasts. They're coming at me in 3D! In a similar vein to Space Harrier, you'll get infinite ammo of, poofy meatballs to burn up its segments, or take out the head directly. As you move through the worlds, the boss battles get harder as you not only have to fight a new boss each time, but you also have to refight them multiple times in a row. Wow, what design! Perhaps the most brazen of obstacles are these pillars of fire. If you crash into one, naturally you'll get burnt, but there's a bit more to them made especially apparent in the 6th world, where the most dastardly of game mechanics rears its head. Ooh, I don't like this one. You have to jump across poles, and keep that momentum going. I'd say the hardest part is actually getting your runner on top of the poles.
Cheeks.
I have a strong tendency to just flat out miss. Thanks Unlimited continues for saving my hide. If you feel overwhelmed, have no fear. The kindly residents of the planet have left you power-up items hidden in columns for you to literally whack your head into. A funky atom makes you invincible for a while? Okay, a very short while. The laser missile lets you shoot in front of you until you get hurt. The power potion gives you an extra hit. Needed! And the mushroom kills you. Okay, that one wasn't very nice. Must have been a citizen who had a rough day at the office or something. And of course, if you find a balloon, grab it to warp to a bonus level to collect stars for points! Hails you! This is great for those few individuals sending their high scores to Nintendo Power, despite the game coming out nearly a year before the first issue. Now if you're me, you can sit down and beat this in about 5 hours, as I once did in 2014. Or if you have better skills and reflexes, it could be a lot shorter. The general playtime according to how long to beat is an hour, so it shouldn't be a major time sink. You have a few lives and infinite continues, so it's more a test of perseverance than anything else. And so, after a mighty challenge, I felt satisfied, ready to take on any game that crossed my path with zero hesitation and 100% confidence. Or was I? Wow! If the last game was too action-packed, then the sequel, JJ Tobidase Daisakusen Part II, will fill your underwear with heaps of excrement. The first game was known as Tobidase Daisakusen in Japan, which was hard for me to translate personally, though it comes to something along the lines of Operation Jumping or the like. Can somebody help? Released a mere 11 days before Final Fantasy, this Japan-exclusive sequel, whose name I forthwith am going to shorten to just JJ, is the faster, darker, more mature older brother to 3D Battles of WorldRunner. Much of how I describe the first game applies to the second. JJ, short for Jumpin' Jack, because he jumps, again must conquer 8 worlds of constant sprinting as enemies and irritating obstacles alike try to stun his run. 8 worlds? Whoa! JJ gets to visit Hairy Eyeball World, Discarded Long John Silver's Dinner World, Hot and Cold Baby Leg World, Manure World, Lobster Tank World, Lumpy Statue World, Geometry Day at the Coliseum World, and finally, Burning Tennis Arena World. The color palette is generally darker here than in its predecessor, and I kinda like it. Random stinkers have hidden power-ups and pillars again, but they have changed a bit. A bright white guy gives you a short period of invulnerability. A clock resets the limiting timer. A pair of fancy boots allows for 1 extra hit. A pistol lets you shoot enemies, until taking a hit and somehow losing that item. And an eyeball which causes instant death, something that doesn't seem to help your progress. Unfortunately, because the game goes by so quickly, you're likely to miss many power-ups, going into the fray underpowered and unhappy. Is this game harder than the first?
Heck yes!
The extra burst of speed amps things up, but it doesn't mask the fact that we're still looking at the same concept without fresh eyes, and just a heck of a lot faster. But at least you don't have to hop on top of pillars or fire spouts. That alone allows me to give this the SoyBomb seal of approval, but it's still more of the same. But hey, it worked for Mega Man. Oh, and this one also has a 3D effect, but instead of dividing the visuals into red and blue planes, we get this. I don't think that's how 3D is supposed to work, Square. Get back in the kitchen and make me some Final Fantasy. I like these games. They're simple to understand and simple to play, all while providing a very notable but surmountable challenge. Sadly, neither game has ever seen a re-release or remake from Square Enix, nor has there been a part 3 of the series, so it appears Jack has ran his course. This could have been a superb entry in the 3D Classics line on the Nintendo 3DS, but I guess Urban Champion was just a superior game, right? Thank you for watching. Now run over to that like button, hit it, and then run to the subscribe button, and do that if you haven't done so already. I appreciate everyone's support. See you next time.
Cheeks.